Good evening, everyone. I am David Freedman. I'm one of the co-chairs of the conference, and this is just a call for presenter Q&A. If you've ever thought about, hopefully you're thinking about becoming a presenter or at least submitting one. So this is just a quick overview, and then we're open for questions and answers. I also have my co-chair, Janice Dimach, is over there. Wave, Janice, say hi. There we go. So let's just get through this, and please, we'll get questions and answers at the end. So a couple things. So if you've never been to one of our conferences, there's a lot that goes on for most of the day. We've got a keynote speaker that will have 2 sessions, District Hall of Fame, CNL Award, installations, both contests, some networking, our meals, and it's jam-packed from 8 to 9:30. So it is something that we have a lot going on, and obviously educational breakout sessions. There's 2 slots that we will pull people into. So if you're thinking about an educational session, here's a couple things. So why would you do it? If you're thinking about it, you've got 50 minutes. It's a way to get out of your comfort zone for sure. And one of the things, if you've ever heard Darren LaCroix, who's a world champion public speaker, he always says, get more stage time. There's no anytime you can get stage time, go for it. So it's certainly an option for you if you have a higher level, level 3s, they have longer times for your requirements. But this is 50 minutes. It includes Q&A. So whatever you do, you've got that time frame to do it in more advanced speech. And you might have something that you might want to pass on to your fellow members, some nuggets or a great topic to show. So what do you talk about? Well, there's a lot in this list, and I will tell you that this is just something to get your ideas flowing. There is a whole lot on that list. It's pretty much just a starter, a conversation starter in your own mind, kind of to think about. If you have something else that's not in that list, well, as long as it's communication and leadership and personal and professional growth, any of those would work out. These are just some ideas. We have new this year. We've got published authors. We have a lot of people that are podcasting. But this is just some way to get thinking, oh, I've got something on mentoring, or I have something on that. So anything that actually fits in communication, leadership, or personal and professional growth is really what we're looking for. And that's what our membership is looking for, is communication and leadership. So if you're interested in it, what's the steps you go to? You go to our website, the District 53 site. If you click on District Conference, there is a call for presenter section. And then the page opens up, looks something like this. So there's a couple of things just to keep you aware here. There is the directions, and we'll come back to that in a second. I want to make mention that even though we are a hybrid conference, presenters have to be in person. And the deadline to submit it is the end of this month, on the 31st. So the directions, that document, it has everything you need in it. It's got some, and we'll go over a couple of things now. But it's all the things you need, as well as the application, the link to apply. It's all online. So a couple of things that we will need from you is, your name, your number, your hub officers. Backup presenter, we ask that, people drop out and we need someone last minute. If you want to be a backup presenter, or you're willing to be one, that does not at all affect what you might or might, it doesn't affect your selection. We don't even look at that. When the committee looks at the actual who wants to do what, we don't even take into consideration if you'd be a backup presenter. We're not going to stick you back in that corner. We look at you face value for an actual slot. Co-presenter, you can have up to 1 co-presenter, and that must be submitted with the application. There is no afterwards at all. The instructions, they say it there as well here, that there is no draft option. So you've got to get all your information and gather it and put it like in a word processing document, like a Word document. And that way you can easily copy and paste it, because once you get going in the CFP, that's it. There's a couple other things that we need as far as the session is concerned. So learning objectives, what are the takeaways that your people are going to have, that your participants, what kind of interactive techniques are you going to use? And then I ask you to check off one of those 4 options of what type of presentation. There is also an other. So if you have something that is other that doesn't fit into that, there's a spot to check that off. Obviously a title, an abstract, which we call it, which is the description, And if you have any technology requirements, you have to bring your own laptop and speakers. But if you need a projector or a flip chart, the district will provide that. One of the things that is key is that what you must have is a video sample. So 5 minutes we prefer it not necessarily be what you're going to, it doesn't have to be what you're going to present on, but just a sample of you presenting in front of your club, whatever the case is, and then a headshot. We don't use the headshot in deciding who's going to be on it. We just need it so that once we let people know that you've been selected, we can go right into the PR. We don't have to wait for people to go ahead and get us that. You'll find out that we will do a committee meeting in February where we will pick everyone, and within a week we're going to turn this around and announce it to the district as well as put it out in a blast and on the website. So we need that stuff up front. So the headshot's kind of a post completion or a selection, and the video is for us to get an idea of your speaking skills. Couple things: you've got to be a District 53 member, got to attend in person. One of the things are, if you are or think you're going to be a contestant at the district level, by policy, you can't present in educational sessions. So if you think you're going to be competing and go up to that district level, we ask that you don't put in an application. The other thing is, if you're looking to run for an elected district officer position, so district director, program quality director, club growth, or any division director, you're ineligible to be a presenter at the conference. And again, we go through it, the committee goes through it, we'll review it based on different factors. If you've been a member or if you've been a presenter before, it doesn't guarantee you anything. We go through a rigorous process. We have a selection, a rubric that we go through just to make sure everything, and everyone on the committee will take a look at it and take a look at your videos if you submit one, and go from there. The deadline is the 31st of January. We will notify you by on or before March 1st. So it gives us a little bit of time to take a look at it, to review them. So that's, in a nutshell, the process and what we need from you. Are there any questions that we can answer, that Janice and I can answer about it?
It's a 50-minute presentation across the board, right? There's no half-an-hour slots or anything.
Nope.
Everybody's the same.
Yeah, everything how there is 50 minutes. It's a 50-minute slot, and you can do as you wish in that time. It's got to include the Q&A. So from the time you start to the time you're in, it's 50 minutes. You would have an introducer. If you got selected, we go through this part too. There's an introducer that you could pick. You definitely want to get manual credit for sure. Never speak for free, as it were. You want to make sure you get something out of it. There's a lot you can slide it into. You can slide it into a pathway that you haven't even started yet and just pull something out. But yeah, if you had a special setup, you would let us know that ahead of time. And if you wanted like a U shape or something, certainly let us know that. We will give you the number of people that you have once the registration closes. So if you need to adjust maybe the way you present it based on the number of people, or decide how you might differently present it, that's as well too. But so you'll get a lot of that information too. But yes, to answer your question, 50 minutes from start to end, just in this one slot. Correct.
So just for some ideas, you don't have to talk for 50 minutes. In fact, I would plan everything you're going to do for 40 to 45, because you want to have some time at the end for discussion, for questions. But the other thing is, if you have any kind of interactive, if you're going to have breakout sessions and people are going to discuss things, you're going to have to build that into your time, because however much time you're going to give people in their sessions, that's got to be subtracted from your material that you're speaking. So if you just plan 50 minutes and then you have these other things, you're going to go over time. So keep that all in mind. However you want to set up your presentation. It doesn't have to be just you talking at people for 50 minutes.
Yeah, that makes sense. We
will give you a timer too. So you'll have someone that introduces you and someone that will be a timer, and you guys can decide when you want the lights. It can be somebody that that you want to say, we will ask those that are selected. If you've got someone that you want to introduce you and to help you time, maybe they'll be a silent evaluator, you can do that. And certainly they can help you out with your timing and managing all that stuff. So good point, Janice. Thank you.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, Phil. Hey, look at that. Sharp person.
Yeah, I'm just just put the kids to bed. There's a filler word. I want to present, but I'm also in the contest, the international contest right now. So it sounds like you confirmed what I thought was the case, but then I wasn't sure from somebody else who got back to me earlier today.
Well, Stephanie's doing her due diligence for you. So, yeah, if you get to the district level, you can't have a presentation.
Oh yeah, okay, there you go. So it's
I mean, if at the area level you're done, then you can more than happy to. The problem is you've got a conflict with timing. So the 31st of this month, you have 20-ish days until it's due, but yet the area contests for, at least for a lot, aren't until February. So, so that's kind of the rub on that one.
Okay, so that was what that
Yes.
was. I get it.
So you're in this case, you're kind of against time as far as timing and doing this stuff. If the contests were done and you knew you didn't make it, obviously you'd be able to do that. But I mean, we ask that you don't put one in just because if we pick you and you're one of the ones we want to pick, then we're without one, right? Once you
I didn't want to have to back out, after doing that. That's
okay. And we wouldn't want you to. I mean, one of the things that you could do is, if you don't make it to the district level, you could always reach out to us and if there's something or whatever, it doesn't, just if you wanted to keep that, you can keep up with Stephanie or something and we can.
If you guys still need some more slots to fill or something like that. Sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's only 20 days to do it. So, to submit them, you get all the stuff you need on our district conference page. And you want to definitely keep up with that. You certainly could, like I said, Phil, you could also, reach out to Janice or I or Rick and say, hey, I'm available or whatever. Do you still need something, just proactively? And then we go from there. So certainly.
Happy to do that. Thanks for clarifying.
Okay, my pleasure. Any other questions, comments? Patty, you have anything? Janice? No? Okay. Heather, you good?
I'm good.
Yeah, I was just kind of looking at some of the options for presentations. Does feel like I'd like to do one centered around change and addressing change and how we respond to change. I know that's something significant Toastmasters continues to face, and we can apply that a little bit broader even.
Yeah.
That's part of leadership too, Heather. If you think about it, change management is a real big part of leadership. So that would be a great topic to talk about.
And if you check out the wrong box of what type it is, we'll get it. We're not going to hold you like, oh, that's leadership, and she put down communications, because it all goes together anyways, right? So we're not going to chastise you for that, Heather. You put it in there, and you've got a good proposal. We're looking on that. We're not checking all those boxes. And if you check the wrong box, boo-hoo. So. Yeah.
So if you don't know me personally yet, that's a-okay. I'm the one that's going to go through meticulously to try and fill it out. So I also want the confirmation that, like, listen, Heather, don't spend 6 hours filling this thing out.
Yeah, no, I mean,
so I appreciate that.
The real parts that are important for us is really the abstract. What's it about? And what objectives, what will people get out of it, and how are you going to present it? Because if you're going to stand up there and be a one-way communicator and be kind of monotone, we obviously don't want that, right? So, but if you're going to be interactive, that's obviously more what we want. And I think most people that submit things are going to be interactive, and you'll be in person. So for sure, but that's the meat and potatoes of that. Don't worry about the small stuff, like if you didn't check a box or you put the wrong club number down, and just put the name if you're not sure. The guts of it are really about the actual presentation, because that's what we're really going to look at. And then as long as your video shows you as your video that you upload it, and we're all set. That's what we're really going to use. We've got a scoring sheet the committee will use, and we'll look at all those things that are mostly the guts of it, the content of it, and how we feel, and how it plays with the other stuff too that's already being chosen. So any questions you have, Heather, you can always reach out, you see the email address is there. We'll be happy to get back to within a day. One of us will get back to you.
Okay, that sounds great. Thanks this has been very clear.
Good.
So I appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. All right, well, if that's it, I think we're set with that. We've given you all we can give you there, and we just hope that you do it, and good luck.
Thanks. Thank you all for being here.
Our pleasure.